There's one. Taxi!
I'm with Danny Newland, the son of Poppy Newland, the owner of Poppy's Fish and Chip Shop. So Danny, tell me, where did it all start?
When my dad was a boy, I would say anywhere between 13, 14, down the Roman Road. He was always looking for ways to make money. He went into a fish shop, I think it was called Phil's Fish Shop. He started cutting the paper in there. It was hard, he told me. He said, but he liked it. And eventually he got doing the potatoes, cutting the fish, cleaning the fish, to cooking the fish.
Amazing. And basically from those times, your dad sort of always come back to fish and chips.
Always.
So through his life, it was a passion of his.
Yeah.
And eventually this place evolved.
He loved this place.
It's amazing. I'm just like looking around, there's so much.
He done it all. Everything in here is from my dad.
And it's, do you know what, when I look around, like in this section, I think of Vera Lynn and the war years.
Oh, yes.
And it makes me want to sing We Will Meet Again. It's just so striking.
Honestly, he picks everything himself.
Oh, it's just
everything.
It's a labour of love. Like you can see his passion.
This wall here, where you've got the colour now, you've got the blues and the pinks. Once upon a time, that was all black and white. But he said to me, let's give the customers a change, and we'll paint. We painted, me and him, we painted all them frames to give it a different feel.
It's amazing. And looking at, is that one of the old Bakelite radios?
Yes.
Up there?
Yeah.
Amazing. This brings back memories of my old grandmother in the East End when I used to go to her house. And funny enough, we used to go to a chip shop, Arthur's chip shop, and we'd sit and eat fish and chips and drink our Pepsi around the fire. It's just amazing. But my mum and my uncle knew your dad from a long, long time ago, growing up on the Roman Road.
Right.
And went to school with him, and everyone spoke so highly of your dad. Amazing, amazing man.
Thank you. Everyone loves, even now, everyone loves him. Even now, people, yesterday, this is true, I'll put it online today, a guy from Canada come here, he gave me a plate of a Spitfire. He said, I've bought this for your father. He didn't know me. He said, he asked one of the girls, has Poppy got a son? I went and spoke with him, lovely man. He gave me, I'll pull it up, I'll show you after.
Wonderful.
He's honest, he said, I followed your dad on Instagram and I've got a really lovely feeling about him. He said, and I had to bring this plate in for him. It really's got to me.
Yeah,
honest, that was yesterday.
My uncle loved your dad, and they were two kids at school that ran around Roman Road together.
Yeah.
So, Poppy's, I'm going to get some fish and chips for me and the camera crew. And any recommendations?
It's all lovely. You won't go wrong. I eat it all. So,
yeah, I do love me fish and chips.
I do.
I do love me food.
Genuinely, it's all nice. It's all fresh fish.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Danny.
Okay.
Much appreciated. So, Danny, tell me, your dad, Poppy, he had, this was basically the start of his businesses. And then he went on to Camden, and then he went on to Soho, three most iconic places in London.
The Soho one is a bit of a story behind it, because when they was looking for more shops, and someone said to my dad, this is the shop in Soho, my dad said, I'm sure I know that shop. That used to be the Two Eyes Cafe. Once he found out it was, he snapped it up.
Oh, wow.
And because he used to go there when he was a boy.
Yeah.
So, and that's how Soho come about, that shop.
Yeah, because Soho's so vibrant and it's always had a buzz to it, hasn't it? It's been sort of very, over the years, like all the nightclubs.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
If you go in there, you'll see we've kept a bit to the Two Eyes Cafe.
Oh, that's
because it was such an iconic place back then.
Yeah. Oh wow, I've definitely got to go. I've got to
Yeah.
go and visit the other two places. This is my local, by the way. This is
Right.
where I always pass by. I've come in here quite a few times to have
Well,
fish and chips.
the Camden one's got live music
Oh, okay. I
on
do like
on
the
the weekend.
music.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Definitely. I may see my other half is from New York, from
really,
Brooklyn, so I may take him down. He likes all the big band stuff.
yeah.
We're kind of like the pair of us. We live in the millennium, but we're kind of stuck in the 40s and 50s. I'm Leona,
And I'm Damon.
and we're going to have a takeaway in a taxi. Hi, Damon.
Hi.
Well, I'm really interested in finding out all about you.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from a small town called Hamer in Germany. It's nearby the big city of Dortmund.
Oh, wow. So I do like my football, and when you mentioned Dortmund, it made me think of
Borussia
that
Dortmund, yeah.
very good, excellent football team. So tell me more about you.
I've lived here since I was about 11, so that's why I've got this lovely British accent right now. And I mainly work in the outdoor activity environment and the film industry as well, so a little bit of both.
Oh, wow. So you're a very busy man.
I try to be, yes.
And you brought along a little friend.
I have indeed. So, well, we don't know the gender of the spider yet, but this is Churro. It's a Mexican red knee, and when I was naming the spider, I thought, what do they have in Mexico that I like? Oh, they have churros.
And
So
I absolutely love chocolate con churro. Chocolate con churro riquísimo.
just saying that makes me really crave them now.
Oh wow, churros, really interesting little character. So is he friendly?
He can be, yes. Generally, he is. They're like people. We have off and on days, really. Yeah, at the moment he seems very calm, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's doing fine for the journey that he's had today.
Oh bless him. He looks an interesting little. Well, I'm saying he. So I've already decided his sex.
I
Or
do it all the time.
Churro has interesting knees. He or she has got their little knees up, and I just find so interesting. I'm not sort of one of these people that are interested in your average animal. I like interesting different things, and wow, look at this.
There we go.
So fascinating.
I mean, the fact that I've just picked him up at the moment and he's not moved is a very good indication that he's quite calm.
He's calm. He likes me, I think. We can only hope.
So you can see on the knees, it's got quite strong colour. He's just shed at the moment. The last few days ago, apologies. So he's got a nice tone about him now.
Fascinating. I love those legs. Oh gosh, it's so interesting. Oh my goodness. Do you know what? I've got a bit of an imagination, but I could just see like imitation ones, women wearing them to ascot on the head. I used to go to the London College of Fashion, and I'm fascinated by different things, and I could just see sort of like, you know, oh, he's moving. Oh gosh, that is so interesting. Oh, I love the leg movement. But yeah, like fascinators, that like imitation fascinators for like race courses.
I mean, I've seen some people with realistic tattoos of these guys as well, and they include the shadows and the colour. You know, first glance, you probably think that they've got a tarantula on them.
Oh wow, that is so interesting. So roughly, how old is Churro?
I think he's about 1.5, probably coming up to 2 years now. They keep shedding until they die, so he's got a lot of growing to do at the moment.
All right, so he's a Mexican, or she is a Mexican red knee. And what do they eat?
So they can eat brown crickets, hoppers, and as a treat, mealworms as well.
Oh, Bill Gates would be happy with that. He wants us to all become tarantulas, I think. He wants us all to eat mealworms and crickets. How interesting. Oh wow, the hairs are amazing. Oh wow.
So because he's just shed at the moment, he's not got a particularly big appetite. I did try to feed him this morning, but he rejected the cricket. And when they reject the cricket, you've got to take him out quite quickly because the cricket can also cause harm to the tarantula.
Oh right, yeah, because I found that out in my research about the fact that a cricket can kill them.
Yeah, they can, yes. Yes, I mean, they are quite sturdy creatures, but something as simple as a fall could kill them. But in terms of handling, they're very good. They're very friendly. Would you like to particularly have it on your hand?
I wouldn't mind, but could you have it on your hand first
course,
to see
of
how
course.
friendly, if he or she's in a good mood at the moment?
The trick is just to always remain calm. Just give him a little prod
Yeah.
every little while. I mean, this is his little birth rock, so
Oh bless.
he does like to stay attached to this rock.
Oh, I can see his teeth. Oh, they're gorgeous. And has he ever bit you? Or
He's
she?
never bit me, touch wood. We don't
Oh
have any
wow.
wood here.
So your energy, you can read your energy and know that your energy is really friendly. Has anyone else held it apart from you?
Nobody else. No.
Then I might decline on holding just in case it smells my perfume and doesn't like it.
No, my son wants to hold Churro, but he's also a bit cautious at the moment. And my partner's absolutely terrified of spiders, so she's
Oh, wow.
definitely not
So
going to.
basically, if I get bit by a tarantula, what is the venom like similar to?
So I believe with Churro, the venom is probably similar to a bee sting.
Oh, okay.
So
I've
if you are
never been
allergic
stung.
to...
Never been
You've
stung.
never been stung, so we're not too sure.
Yeah, you never know. I might go into, is it hyperlactic shock?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so you never know. Maybe I'll just, can I stroke it?
Of course, yeah. Just,
Yeah, I'll just have a
give
little
us a little bit of
Oh gosh,
There
that's
you
so
go.
soft. Do you know, it feels like a velvet. Would you say it's like
I
a
do,
velvet? Yeah. Oh wow, you're the star of the show, Churro. Beautiful.
So
And
you
what's
can-
that at the back of the tail? Is that a stinger?
No, that's I'm not quite sure the technical name, but that's what he would use to spin the web.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I love spiders' webs. I find them fascinating. And they're so intricate, the way that they spin a web. I wonder how long it takes for them to spin.
I'm not too sure. Well, the fun fact with tarantulas is that some of them, including Mexican red knees, they're more borrowers, so they wouldn't use a lot of. So in their den, you wouldn't see a lot of web spun around, but actually this one does. I do see quite a lot of webs around, and actually he doesn't really like to borrow as much as others would.
Yeah, it's interesting because I used to have a phobia against scorpions, and myself and my daughter, we went to Singapore, and before I went, I used to smoke a lot. I had my own business. I used to smoke ever such a lot, and I decided to have hypnotherapy to get over the habit of smoking. And the most interesting thing was, I was terrified of scorpions, and by having this hypnotherapy, I'd actually got over my fear of scorpions. And we went to Sentosa Island on the island of Singapore, and they had friendly scorpions there, and me and my daughter had scorpions on us, and it was amazing. I had scorpions crawling over me, and
How
I was
many?
Two. And I was fine with it. They were crawling up and down my blouse. My daughter had one on her arm, and this little girl let one crawl up and down on her arm. And I tell you what, if ever something I would recommend for people who've got phobias, have hypnotherapy. It gets you over everything.
I always find exposure as well is the best way to get out of your fear, just by doing and being
Yeah.
around this. I used to do a lot of caving, and that helped me get over my fear of spiders. I mean, there was tons in there, and I just had to kind of get on with it. And yeah, I mean, if I was a kid and somebody said, "Would you own a pet tarantula?" I'd probably be like, "No, absolutely not." But over the years, my fear of spiders has become less and less, and generally happier. I don't consider this guy like a proper spider, like especially like you got the black house spiders and the garden spiders. It does seem a little bit more like a pet than, you know.
Yeah. So you work in London quite a lot with the acting industry?
Yeah, it generally is in London, but it can be everywhere as well. I
Yeah.
don't do a lot of studio work. It is more site locations.
Oh, okay. And what's your latest work, if I can ask?
I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to mention
Oh,
that.
got you.
They are very hush hush with these things.
You've got. But past work?
I've done a lot of short films, some feature films as well. I did a commercial for Aston Martin as well, which was one of my favourite shoots to date. I've also got something big coming up. Again, not massively allowed to say at the moment. Also, I don't want to jinx it as well because it's still in early days.
I totally understand, and I won't prize that information out of you. But this man is the face to watch in the future. The way they crawl. That's fascinating. Oh, bless. I love the way that they feel with their legs.
I want to get off this little rock.
What is that with the sort of the legs, the way they feel? Is that them getting to know?
I think so, yeah. Having a little fit, because again, their eyesight isn't that great, so... Come on, where are you going? You don't like coming off your little rock, do you?
This is amazing.
So yeah, this is his birth, well, not rock, but bit of wood. He was so tiny when he...
Oh, bless.
Oh, I forgot to mention as well, he came to me... oh, hello. That's my breath there. This leg was missing. This one
really?
here. Yeah, when he was younger, he had one leg missing.
And so he grew the other leg.
Grew it back, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They can grow their limbs back, and look, you wouldn't notice it was missing.
Amazing. And he's really trusting of you because I can see he's used to you and comfortable.
Okay.
I love the little back part. It's so amazing. And can they see?
I think it's more of a blur.
Oh. Must be looking at me thinking she's colourful.
It's quite of a tickle sensation as well.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Okay. See, I'm calm, the spider's calm, everybody's calm.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Okay, well,
adorable.
a little bit of a wonder, don't you?
Yeah, it's getting to know his environment or her environment.
6 years if it's a male, and 20 if it's female.
What, to live?
To live, yeah.
No. So only 6 years if it's a male.
6 to 7, yeah.
And how long you had?
A year and a half. 2
right.
years.
So that's really interesting.
I'm looking forward to when Churro is fully grown.
Oh wow, yeah. Will it grow much bigger?
Much bigger.
Oh wow.
At least the size of your hand.
Are you alright there?
Yeah.
It's going round you. Say hello to my little friend. It's resting. It's a pleasure meeting Churro. Fascinating. So, oh wow. Can I give him one more stroke?
Yeah, of course you can.
Ooh, Churro, you're adorable. Oh, I love his little teeth, or her little teeth. Amazing.
One last thing I'd like to mention as
Yeah.
well is when they shed, on the skin, you can have the teeth on there as well.
Oh, really? So did they leave the teeth behind?
Yeah, they have new ones.
Oh, fascinating. That is so, so interesting.
I can't believe how calm Trura's been for us as well. It's
Really?
yeah. I mean, I don't ever take him on long journeys, and you know, with the whole busy environment of London, yeah, I thought Trura would be quite stressed out, but absolutely
you've taken
perfect.
to London so well. You're a fully fledged Londoner now. Oh, ready to
I
jump.
love that.
Oh, bless. Oh, wow. I'm amazed because when they feel threatened, they throw off their hair, which is why I've got my glasses on, just in case like Churro didn't like me and decided to throw some hair. But it seems to like me. I've you know, had a little stroke. Amazing. Damon, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank
for
you.
your time. It's been so interesting. Churro, we're going to put you away now in a safe place so me and Damon can get stuck into the old fish and chips. But we're not eating fish and chips today because not all of us Brits eat fish and chips. Some of us like the other option. So from the lovely Poppy's Fish and Chip shop, we're having vegetarian pie, chips, and also what we call in East London a wally, which the rest of the country or the world might call a cucumber or a gherkin. Thank you.
No problem.
The first fish and chip shop was opened in the 1860s by Jewish immigrant Joseph Marlin in Old Ford Road in Bow, in the East End of London. Those Cockneys couldn't get enough of Marlin's fish and chips in the East End. Marlin stayed open for over 100 years, eventually closing in the 1970s. By that time, the dish went global.
So Damon, anything that you like your favourite German dish?
Easy question. Currywurst.
Currywurst.
Currywurst, yes.
It's sausage, isn't it?
Sausage, yeah. So it's chopped up sausage, like bit of Bratwurst, in a nice curry powder sauce,
Oh wow.
with a nice Steiner.
How do you find working in London?
It's fine. I mean, it's driving there can always be a bit sort of iffy, but I do generally love the city of London. There's always so much to do, and even when I'm got a bit of time off from filming or a bit of a break, there's always so much to see and do here. So the food culture as well here is absolutely amazing.
So much to choose from, isn't
honestly,
there?
yeah.
Which brings me back to Poppy's. I tell you, I really like this pie. It's the first time I've ever tasted it. It's got kind of like a curry taste in this pie. It's, I don't know, what do you think? Quite interesting.
I have to try. I have not been going for the chips a lot. I haven't had a pie in such a long time, so I thought I'd
These?
go.
When I was a kid, oh my gosh, I used to eat these all the time. Well, in the East End, they call them a wally. I know, but around the country, I think they call them gherkins, cucumber. But oh, I just love them. So, oh,
A bit messy.
tangy, but very nice. And the lovely pie. I really like this pie. I'll tell you what, compliments to Poppy's Fish and Chip shop, because that is really different. I haven't had one of them before. And I tell you, if you want to give it a try, people, they're in Spitalfields. They've also got their other restaurant in Camden where they have live music, and they've opened one as well in Soho. So if you want a good night out, check out their venues. Amazing food. I really like that pie.
I definitely recommend.
Yeah, very nice. So do you travel a lot, Damon?
I travel a bit too much, I think.
Where have you been lately?
I've mainly been filming around the Oxford area. I've been on a couple of productions up there. Beautiful locations. I can't mention exactly where at the moment, but the sites they've picked for that are incredible, and I feel very lucky in my job role that I can visit all these incredible sites. And this is one thing I love about acting the most, is that your workplace is never the same, and the people that you're on set with as well is never the same. You meet some amazing artists, actors, and even crew members as well. As everybody just comes together to make this wonderful piece of art, and that's how I always look at filming, is that everybody coming together. It's a little bit like being a kid again. You're dressing up, you're having make believe, and you're getting with all your friends, and they're having the same interests with you as well. It's a wonderful industry when it works.
Yeah, when you work with good people, it makes the job easy. And I always say, when you love what you do, it's not work. So Damon, tell me about your family history.
So I can trace up to my great grandfather. Past that is a bit hazy. But I really love the story about my great grandfather. He was in the German army at the time of World War II, and he sadly lost his life just before the war ended. He was a bomb disposal technician in the German army.
Oh wow.
And I think he was about 24, 25 when he died. And I'm actually hoping to make this into either a short film and hopefully into a feature film one day, just because I think his story is so interesting.
Could you tell me his name?
His name is Ludolf Zanker.
Ludolf Zanker.
Yeah.
Wow. And did he have any children when he passed away?
Yeah, so he, my grandma, who's still around today, that was his only child, but unfortunately he didn't get to meet her because he died. He actually died on the day he was meant to have off. He had a day off to go and see his daughter for the first time, but his colleague's mum fell ill, and she wasn't going to make it very long, but he couldn't get the time off, so my great-granddad swapped his day off. He said, well, I can go and see my daughter anytime, basically. Your mum's only going to be around for a short period of time, so he gave that day off to him. And on that day, they went out to sweep a field of mines, but unfortunately they found one which exploded and ended his life, really. So sadly he never got to meet his own daughter.
Oh, that's really sad. And where in Germany was that?
I believe it was actually more towards the northern Poland where he was killed. But he's originally from the state of Munich area, and my great grandmother, who only passed away a few years ago, which I'm very happy to say that I got to know, she was from an area called Gleiwitz, which is now Poland. Germany obviously gave that part back to Poland after the war.
Yeah, and you came here when you was 11, and tell me, what was life like for you in the UK?
I mean, it was very difficult at first because German was my first language, and when I came over here to school, people obviously knew that I had a bit of an accent. They asked where I was from. I said Germany, and shortly after I did, unfortunately, end up getting a lot of stick for being German. At first it quite shocked me because I had no idea about the war before I came over here. I was oblivious to it, and I actually only learned about the war from being bullied, sadly. So, but yeah, it was
People can
tough.
be pretty cruel.
Yeah, they can be. But I like to take a bit of positive from it, and over the years, it's actually made me more prouder to be from Germany than actually shy and embarrassed by it. Really.
Funny enough, you bring back a memory of my uncle, my mum's young brother. He was a footballer, and he used to play in, I think it was, my mum knows so much more than me, like London Schoolboys, and I know he played with quite a few famous, who went on to be very famous footballers, and his name was Bolter, but pronounced Buta in German. And when they went to Germany to play football, the local newspaper kept running his name in the local news, saying this, you know, he's German, but it's the name because our ancestry goes back to Germany, and also Latvia. When I started doing our family history, I found we're Jewish and also French Huguenot, and I found we're Irish as well. The East End is like a melting pot of different cultures. So you had Russian, Polish, German, Latvian, all across Europe, as well as one of our ancestors I found was a seaman, came over, he married onto my dad's side of the family from Bengal. So we have such an interesting like history. I found, like, funny enough, going back to the Second World War, that like when I clicked on, I saw on my ancestry page like all these stars of David, and I clicked on them, and then I found that a lot of like the ancestors were massacred over in the Riga ghettos in Latvia. They massacred a lot of them, and I feel like today, modern day, like going into, well, we're in the 21st century, that we can learn from our past and like see that, you know, we're all just human at the end of the day, and that we can learn so much from the past, which kind of like even the modern day like war in Ukraine, it's like Russia's fighting their own people, really. The Ukrainians and Russians speak the same language.
You would have thought that we'd learn from, you know, previous wars and stuff, and you know the fact that we're still having this huge conflict down in Russia and Ukraine is quite silly to think about, really, because you know we're supposed to be developing as a species, and
we're supposed to be evolved. The evolution of the species, like what have we learnt from the past, that we all really should be friends, and that's the fact that we've all got common goals, that we all just want to live, enjoy life with our families and our friends. And basically I've learned a lot from Buddhism as well. I studied Buddhism 20 years ago.
Love that.
And that's really taught me so much about humanity and life. And I have a habit of, when I see people, I like treat everyone the same. It could be like the Queen of England to the lady that cleans the toilets. They're all on the same level to me, and I don't see any difference.
No, not at all.
And when I meet people, I'm so friendly, and I'm like, hello, how are you? And I'm just like naturally friendly. And I find that not everyone is friendly, and I try and have to say to myself, you know, what's gone on in this person's life that makes them the way that they are, and maybe I have to accept that, you know, sometimes people's past or their life story, you know, can be a painful journey.
I really respect you for that, because a lot of people, I feel like, would be quite quick to judge, especially if somebody's having a bit of a bad day and they've probably been a bit mean to you or to somebody, you know, else. But the fact that you said, you know, what's made them in that bad mood, I don't think a lot of people would then think about that. I think a lot of people do, unfortunately, you know, judge quite quickly instead of thinking, actually, maybe I can help that person instead. Yeah, they have come across a bit rude, but maybe I can bring a bit of sunshine into their day, and I think the world would probably be a lot better place if everybody did that, really.
It would be, but you know what, we all have days off, and sometimes, you know, I might be actually, and I have to hold my hands up, I might be guilty
We're all
actually of sort of like not always understanding and being hurt by, you know, something that someone may have said. And then the good side about the Buddhism is it teaches you to go away and reflect. So I can reflect during the day and think, you know what, the person's not really a bad person, they're having a bad day, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that, I mean, at one point I really struggled. I left my business, I walked away from it, went back to work for other people, and during that time I struggled for quite a few years. 9 years of my life I was on a treadmill of ups and downs, and I think the Buddhism really helped me to get through some seriously dark times
I
in
think
my
that's
life.
incredible. Love that.
So yeah, it's an interesting world.
It really is, yeah.
Damon, it's been a pleasure meeting you, and I'm going to start following your work. Thank you for introducing me to churro. I just find tarantulas fascinating, and that's my first close encounter with a tarantula, and I'm definitely thinking of getting one as a pet.
Yes, they're very good and easy to care for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much as well. Pleasure being here.
Well, we've enjoyed our chips and our pie from, and our Wally from Poppy's Chip Shop in Spitalfields. And I think that's a wrap.
Hey, driver, what's the damage?